It was fun.
And then you beat her 6-3.
Yeah, exactly.
And they stomped off the court.
Exactly. She was just like, good match, and turn away. I was like, good match. Especially for me.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jackie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Okay, Crissy Lou, we are back. Good to have you in studio. And today we're getting some podcasting in. We got a lot of moving parts between sports, and Bruce and I are leaving for our Emerge Men's Conference.
Oh, yeah.
Through our church called Awaken Church, which is going to be 4 days up in the mountains and beating each other up and getting smelly and eating guy food. And so I've been packing and doing my whole thing. And yeah, it's just been good. By the way, speaking of packing, I was packing up some shoes. What kind of shoes? What kind of shoes do frogs wear?
What?
Open-toed sandals.
That's a good one, Dad.
You don't want to laugh, but you can't help it.
I'm like Mom in that way.
You are like Mom. She always tells me I'm not funny while she's laughing.
While she's laughing.
All right, so let's continue our conversation here. And, you know, the reality is the biggest difference between good athletes and great athletes, it isn't necessarily talent, it's emotional control. So talent gets you noticed, but your emotions determine how far you go.
Right.
You know, and so so let's see here. What happens to most kids when someone makes a bad call?
In like a tennis match?
Yeah, like in a tennis match.
I feel like most kids will get like kind of angry, kind of in their own head, and they'll start thinking about it, right? But most times they don't want to argue, so they'll just be like, okay, that's fine.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
How about when a teammate messes up? You know, what kind of things did they do? Just think about different people around you.
I feel like most of the time they kind of have their own internal like, you know, like, and then they'll turn around and be like, it's okay. You know, like try to put on a good face for the partner, but internally they're getting more and more angry with them.
So there's a level of frustration.
Right. A little less trust.
Essentially a level of blaming, you know. What I've seen is if it happens a couple times, I see people starting to shut down.
Yeah.
You know, and now they get out of what is success, which is I'm trying the best I can every single point. And now it turns into, well, I'm kind of giving up and I'm half winging it because I think you're going to probably mess up anyways.
Right.
So then you end up messing up. And then it kind of goes back and forth. So you can see how the emotional side, especially when you have partners, can really mess you up. And so, you know, most young athletes, from my experience, is they let emotions control performance, right? And they react instead of respond. And it really costs games confidence, growth. I mean, for you guys, you three, I feel like because you understand this better than most people, it's actually become like a superpower for you guys in many ways. I mean, it really has won you guys a lot of matches.
For sure.
When you guys are equal in talent or close to equal in talent, I mean, your emotional game really shines through. And it's becoming more and more apparent the higher levels you play, right? Because in the past, it was anything could kind of happen with people having a good or bad day talent-wise.
Yes.
Now it's like you're kind of playing against people who are always good.
Yeah.
You know,
they
so
don't ever have a bad day.
It's a little bit different. So emotional intelligence, it's understanding what you're feeling and then choosing how you respond. Right? Not just reacting however it happens.
Right.
It's choosing how to respond. Like, it's so big. A lot of people don't think that they can control their emotions.
Right.
And those are people who have never been trained to be emotionally intelligent, right? So what are some other things that you've been learning right now?
I feel like I've been kind of reviewing a lot of the things that even like got us, I feel like, on the team or, you know, succeeding at a certain level, like things such as like consistency and discipline that matter a bunch. Like, we'll get compliments all the time. Like, you guys are the only ones that actually put in work at practice, or you guys lead the team in work ethic, when really we're just being us. right? And we're always putting in our best. We're always putting in the consistency because you can make discipline a superpower, right? And so people notice that. People notice when you're putting in your best all the time, right? This book says that average people do it some of the time. Good people do it most of the time, but great people do it all of the time. So the consistency of having the discipline and having the hard work ethic and having the right attitude is what really puts you above other people when you're seeing each other in the same environment. Because it really makes an entirely, different twist to your game. Like you said, when you're playing someone who's really similar in your level and skill, you need to have a differentiator. And sometimes the difference is who makes more mistakes and who gets emotionally depleted first.
True.
And so if you are on the strong side of that, even if they're kind of, even, you're going to end up on top because of your emotional and mental strength. And so I feel like doing that all of the time, not just when you feel like it, is what really, makes you stand out and makes you win more matches.
Have you ever experienced when you're in a tough match and you guys are battling back and forth that you have shown a level of emotional intelligence that then breaks the other person's spirit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was playing this past weekend at Kappa Classic, and we had a great first. I was playing probably against one of the hardest persons in the bracket, and I was playing. We were neither one of us was breaking serve. We were just doing a super clean set. Then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I'm up 4-3. I need to break, and so I ended up breaking and then winning my next serve. So I won the first set 6-3. Then I feel like I kind of relaxed a little bit. I was okay, I got the first set, and I lost the next 3 games. It's down 0-3 in the second set. And if you lose the next set, you have to go into a tiebreaker. I have no idea what the heck's going to happen in a tiebreaker with this girl.
I mean, we kind of know because you're really, really good at tiebreakers. But still, you don't want to put yourself in a position.
I don't want to do that knowing that's only my second match of the day out of 4. And so I was like, okay, let's get back into this, right? And I could have chosen to just kerplunk and continue to lose. But I came back, and I won the next 4 or 5 games. And it's her serving game, and I think I'm up 4-3, and she starts just double faulting like crazy. She had one game where she double faulted 4 out of 5 times, and I won the game because of it. Because I just started coming back, and I stayed mentally strong. I didn't over-celebrate. I didn't do anything. I just started playing my game, and I totally broke her spirit. And so then I came back, won the next 6 games. So I won 6-3, 6-3. But because of my mental strength not breaking down when she got up, she broke down when I started winning.
So it was probably, I wasn't there for that one, but it was probably that when she went up 3-0, she's really got a lot of oh, I can pull this off. I can do this. We can go to a tiebreaker. And then when you didn't just give up, and then I would assume it was probably right when you got back to 3-3.
Yeah.
And she just lost her whole advantage. And now you had momentum.
Now we're even.
And then it was with the 4-3 game that she ended up double faulting. So she just got into her. She started just having a mess in her head.
Right. And then after that, she started trying to do bad calls and things. I started getting really on her.
Wow.
And she's like, she called the serve out.
See, so it started turning into blaming.
Exactly.
Yeah. It started turning into almost victim mentality kind of thing.
She started walking around with her slouch that she has when she loses.
Yeah.
And her parents were just quiet. They were just they started glaring at me with this disgusting eye. And I was like, okay, guys.
They were mad at you.
Yeah, they were mad at me. And Drews was sitting outside, and there was this call that she had really bad. And she wouldn't let up, and I wouldn't let up. It wasn't even on the line. It was so in. And I was like, fine. Let's compromise. I already did the point. And her parents were like, that's not how it works. I was like, well, she let me do it. Plus, she's the one with the bad call. And anyway, so Drews was like, yeah, they were getting really mad at you. I was like, good. Because now they're all emotional messes.
You broke the whole family spirit.
Exactly. That's going to be a fun car ride, right? It was fun.
And then you beat her 6-3.
Yeah, exactly.
And they stomped off the court.
Exactly. She was just like, good match, and turn away. I was like, good match. Especially for me. It was fun.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, so with this situation, you had awareness. She did not.
Right.
Right. I mean, she's not even thinking, I'm so frustrated right now because of XYZ. I got to lock it in.
And she didn't even, I played the same strategy on her every point. High into her backhand. Every point. Because if she got a low ball, she just annihilated me. She could whip the ball. And if I gave her a low ball. And so I started hitting high to her backhand and approaching the net. and finishing points there. And she didn't figure out the whole match. I'm like, how do you not notice this?
It's because she couldn't think logically anymore.
Right.
She was only thinking emotionally.
And I was like, this
and she
is
wasn't
really
controlling her emotions.
Blatantly obvious strategy.
See, there's three components to this emotional intelligence. It's awareness, then it's ownership, and then it's response.
Right.
Okay. So awareness is recognizing, okay, I'm a little bit over frustrated right now. Like, I got to take a check on this, Right. Number two, I got to take ownership. In other words, what I can't do is start blaming refs, start blaming the opponent, start blaming teammates, start blaming conditions, start blaming a sore leg, which is easy to do, right? When you're in that state of not like pulling in your emotions. And then number three, what is your response going to be? Am I going to choose discipline over emotion? Right? And it's a perfect example of how you actually did those three things when you were down 0-3.
Right.
And because of that, you came back, and how she didn't do any of those things when it went 3-3 and she just completely fell apart.
Right.
It wasn't skill. It wasn't talent. It was emotional intelligence.
Right.
It's so cool.
Because skill-wise, she was better than me. Skill-wise, she had way more kill shots. She hit the ball way faster than me. But I knew that I could break her if I stayed mentally strong.
Wow. That's really good, honey. It's really good. You don't rise to your talent. You fall to your emotional habits. You're really learning that right now, like big time, which is pretty awesome. And I know that you're going to take that into this next week as well. And, I hopefully, because I know there's been a lot of pressure coming into districts. You put a lot of pressure on yourself in particular because last year you made varsity, but you didn't make the district team. And then they won state.
They went on to win districts and state.
And then you somehow allowed yourself to feel like you weren't really part of it, even though you really were, because you were carrying the burden of effort through practice the whole year. And that adds up to a lot, but you didn't feel like you contributed, was what you had told me, right? So this year you worked your butt off to not only be on varsity, but also to make the district team, right? But now that pressure kind of kicks in where it's like, okay, what if I don't contribute by wins?
Right, because at districts, how it works, especially in singles, you have 3 singles lines, but only 2 doubles lines. So you have 40 people competing at districts for singles, and only 10 of them qualify for state. And this is the year, like, we have our seniors. This is the year we're going to win state on both sides, on boys' side and girls' side, and it's never been done before.
Never happened in our school. Yeah.
Right, and last year they won districts on both sides, which has never been done before. And so our teams are setting records, and so I know that they're going to go on and win. But it might go over better, and I know that qualifying for state will make me feel like I contributed, right? Because it's a limiting belief from last year.
Sure.
And so, like, the pressure of all these tournaments and things, feeling like I need to contribute in order to be a part of it, in order to be included, in order to feel like I, was part of the team. And so I feel like that's kind of like the pressure and like the little whispering voice, the limiting belief from last year. And if I don't take control of that, it will definitely, it'll show up in matches, and it'll show up with that pressure, with that nervousness. But like identifying it, and now I got to figure out how I'm going to respond.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with having an outcome goal. You want to qualify for state, right? That's your next big goal, and there's nothing wrong with having that goal. But it's like you have to like set that goal, but now you can't necessarily focus on that goal, right? Now you have to focus on what you can control that puts you in the best position to accomplish the goal, right? 'Cause like that's the most important part. So that way, as much as there's always going to be a little bit of pressure because you have such a strong desire for it, but if you take your focus from there and put it here into, okay, what can I do? How do I make sure that at any given time in a match, at any given time when things are going good or bad, I am operating in the highest level of emotional intelligence. I'm operating with awareness of where I'm at emotionally.
Right.
I'm taking ownership, and which means I'm not blaming. I'm not creating, excuses. I'm not thinking about injuries. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Right. And number 3, how I'm going to constantly push myself how I'm going to respond. You know what I mean? Like if you do that, on top of that, if you just stick to whatever your strategy is to be able to beat people, which the way you stick to your strategy is by staying emotionally intelligent, right? Despite what's going on.
Right.
And so you control all those things, and then you give your best effort. You're a champion no matter what. I get it. We still want to qualify for state and everything because it's more of a, like a tangible thing that you can, but it's an interesting thing though, because the people who can focus on knowing that if I put all my effort in, that makes me a winner, no, regardless of the end outcome, those are the people that get the best outcomes. You know what I mean? So it's just like a way that you have to train yourself to be able to function. So I'm looking forward to you doing it. It's going to be fun. You know, it's a new test. You like to step up to tests. Yeah. You know, and the reality is it's a risk. You know, you can not qualify. That's a fact. You know, you could play somebody that you would like to beat, and you could not win, and that's a fact. That's what makes sports great. You know what I mean? That's what makes it great. It's that thrill of victory and the agony of defeat that you learn from. Yeah. You know, but I feel really strong because I would be more nervous about it if you weren't working on your mental game as hard as you are right now. Right? Your skill set's great. And that'll always keep getting better, but it gets better because of your mindset around working on your physical skill set. Right. So any last thoughts before we go?
No, this is really, really good. I'm excited for it.
This is great. So, hey, if you're a sports family out there, or you even just want to learn more about performance, just DM us or comment family, and we will send you some great info because we love doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Good job, Crissy. Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.